Good morning. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live and recorded. Bitcoin's over 30K. How excited are you guys? This is awesome. What's up, Tanes? Good to see you, buddy. All right, let's see who else is here. We have Alvidiz Black Sails. What's going on, buddy? Man, I downloaded this new browser extension and make everything dark mode, and it just messed with all the colors on my computer. So give me 1 second. Let me shut this thing off. UK Miners Club. Never again. Never again. All right, let me see. Who else? All Set Miner. What's up, buddy? Crypto Craig's a pirate. Good to see you. Black Sail. Sorry, Black Sail. Big Black. That's what I meant to say. Leo Lusting, what's going on, buddy? Geek of all trades. All right, let's check out the market quick. Everybody else that I missed, sorry for missing yous. All right, Bitcoin 30,093. It was over 30,100. I think it went to 30,200. Am I wrong? Maybe. Anyways, we have Ethereum 19, looking good, 1900. Crypto Bubbles, the monthly, check this out. So let's see, Casp is up 193% this month. We have CFX up 193% as well. Litecoin's up 38%, Bitcoin's up 46%. On the daily chart, we have Bitcoin up 6.4%. Let's see, what else? Render is up 17.5%, which is pretty awesome. All right, let's see the Fear and Greed Index. We have 68 for the Fear and Greed Index in the greed category, but still not too bad. All right, we have top 10 coins: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD Coin, XRP, Cardano, Dogecoin, Lido Staked Ether, and Polygon in 10th. Mint. Absolutely love it. All right, so today I want to go over first. Let's start with, actually, you know, let's I guess we'll read some articles real quick. So a couple big news things, right? So bill protecting Bitcoin mining rights passes in Arkansas. In Arkansas Senate and House. All right, so it says the Arkansas Data Center Act is now moving to the governor's office for approval. It grants crypto miners in the state the same rights as data centers. I actually saw this a couple days ago and I totally forgot about it yesterday. But I think it's only going to push Bitcoin further and further towards, you know, becoming more mainstream adoption, right? That's what we need anyways at the end of the day. So a bill seeking to regulate Bitcoin mining activity in Arkansas has passed in the state's House of Representatives and Senate. The bill will now move to the governor's office for approval. According to the bill, the Arkansas Data Center Act of 2023 intends to regulate the Bitcoin mining industry in the American state, creating guidelines for miners and protecting them from discriminatory regulations and taxes. Arkansas state legislators quickly passed the bill after it proposed on March 30th by Senator Joshua Bryant. The document recognizes that the data center creates jobs, pays taxes, and provides general economic value to local communities. So, more or less, this entire thing is good towards crypto mining farms, right? For data centers, or they categorize them as a data center at this point, which is good. So congratulations to everybody that's starting down in Arkansas. All right, if you guys have any questions, what just happened? What just happened? I didn't even click anything. My bad. I don't even know what the hell just happened. Regardless, all right, let's get into today's stories of CNBC television. So they have some elaborate news on basically where the price of Ethereum could go, and they just elaborate on everything that's going on in the space. BTC is clicking for you. Perfect. All right, let's see what CNBC has to say, and shout out to them. I will leave a link in the description below to this video if you guys are interested. Let's have at it.
Today, a new report highlights mismanagement at FTX. Arkansas joins Montana and passes a bill protecting Bitcoin miners. And Jeff Dorman of crypto investment firm Arca breaks down what to expect from this week's Shanghai upgrade. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Pippa Stevens. Major cryptocurrencies are in the green to start the week. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin jumped above the $28,000 level, and Ether was above the $1,800 mark.
This was yesterday.
Solana was trading right around $20.
Before it went to 30K.
Okay, let's talk about
obviously.
the top stories. First up, a new report from the current management of FTX says that hubris, incompetence, and greed led to the demise of the crypto exchange. This report was based on the new management's review of terabytes of electronic data and communications, more than 1 million documents, and interviews conducted with 19 former employees. Revelations from the report include that FTX lacked any internal audit function and that the firm failed to put in place basic, widely accepted security controls to protect crypto assets. The report also says that the former U.S. president of the crypto exchange resigned partly due to a, quote, protracted disagreement with former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried and members of his inner circle. The ex-FTX U.S. president, that's Brett Harrison, had serious doubts about how the exchange was being run, and when he expressed his concerns to SBF, his bonus was drastically reduced, and he was told by company lawyers to apologize to him, but he refused. These allegations are consistent with his statements on Twitter from January, in which Harrison explained how he was approached to join FTX and what his experience was like at the firm.
Insane.
In one tweet, he wrote that his relationship with SBF and his deputies had reached a point of total deterioration after months of disputes over management practices. Next, a bill looking to regulate Bitcoin mining activity in Arkansas has passed in the state's House and Senate. The Arkansas Data Centers Act intends to clarify guidelines for miners and offer protections from discriminatory regulations and taxes. Under the legislation, crypto miners will have the same rights as data centers, and the bill recognizes that data centers create jobs and provide economic value to local communities. It requires digital miners to pay applicable taxes and government fees in acceptable forms of currency. They also must operate in a way that causes no stress on an electric public utilities generation capabilities or transmission network.
Ooh, acceptable forms of currency, which means obviously not Bitcoin.
Now, this development in Arkansas follows a similar initiative in Montana. But at the same time, CoinDesk reports a proposed new law in Texas, which could restrict key benefits for Bitcoin miners, passed a state Senate committee last week. Texas has been a major hub for Bitcoin miners. Last, Binance US is struggling to find a bank to handle its customers' cash after last month's closure of Signature Bank. That's according to the Wall Street Journal, which cited people familiar with the situation. The journal reports that dollar deposits in the U.S. used to be sent to either Signature or Silvergate. Over the weekend, the newspaper reported that the exchange is using at least one intermediary to store funds, and that since the money is being held by a third party, the process of sending and moving funds can be slowed down. Binance US reportedly tried to establish relationships with banks like customers, but banks have been hesitant due to concerns over regulatory risk. Customers Bank declined to comment to us. We also reached out to Binance US about the Wall Street Journal article, but did not immediately hear back. However, the newspaper reported that a spokesperson said that the exchange works with multiple US-based banking and payment providers and continues to onboard new partners while upgrading its internal systems to create a more stable fiat platform and offer additional services. All right, for our main story, let's talk more about markets. Amid the backdrop of crypto-friendly banks shuttering and the next big update for Ethereum expected in just days, Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with the chief investment officer of crypto investment firm Arca for insight into what's driving prices and what's expected from the Shanghai upgrade.
I want to start off by asking...
I'm excited about this. I'm going to put a poll in the chat real quick. I want to know what you guys think. Pump or dump in the next couple of days for Ethereum? Let's see. This guy, what he says is actually quite interesting. So I think it's a little bit important that we listen to it.
What do you think is driving markets right now? I mean, you recently wrote an op-ed arguing that macro conditions are now moving digital asset markets once again. You say that for the past 9 months, most of the price action was driven by failures like the FTX collapse, as well as success stories like the Ethereum merge, and that overall macro conditions have taken a backseat. But over the past few weeks, that all has changed. You also write that the banking crisis and the policy response are impacting digital assets positively at the expense of other asset classes. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the things we talked about in November and December was you had a pretty perfect storm against digital assets, culminating with the FTX, fraud and ultimately bankruptcy. It looked towards the end of December that we had seen the bottom, right? There was a lot of capitulation, a lot of people leaving the market. What we didn't know was when would there be any sort of a positive catalyst, right? So sometimes it's easy to find when all the selling is done, but that doesn't make markets go higher. What makes markets go higher is when you actually have real buying. And that was the lack of catalyst that we couldn't identify even in the January rally, was what was actually going to take us higher. And then ultimately we had the banking crisis of early March, which really provided that positive catalyst. And what I mean by that is, historically, digital assets were just one of many things you could own, right? And it was never really viewed as something that you would think of as being a safe asset to own, right? It was a volatile asset. It potentially had high returns and certainly had different properties and attributes that could generate positive returns or negative returns. But safety wasn't really one that generally people thought of. What happened after the first week of March, when you started to have the banking issues, right? Starting initially with Signature Bank and Silvergate, and then ultimately into Silicon Valley Bank, and then across the pond over with Credit Suisse and others, was all of a sudden everybody, and not just crypto people, but everybody, small business owners, high net worth individuals, et cetera, had to start reevaluating what does it mean to have a safe asset, right? Historically, your money in the bank would be viewed as a safe asset. After the weeks of March 7th to the 14th, that wasn't really the case anymore. So as you start reevaluating what is safe, you have to start reprioritizing. And I think what you started to see was a real rotation, right? There was 30-some billion dollars that left Signature, Silvergate, and Silicon Valley Bank that had to find its way either into brokerage accounts, into too big to fail banks, or into Bitcoin and Ethereum. You also had almost 20 billion leave stablecoins. Well, again, that money had to go somewhere. And I think even if only a fraction of that 45 to 50 billion dollars went into Bitcoin and Ethereum, that was enough to drive prices, and we're still seeing it today.
So right now, there's this backdrop of all this crypto-related news. You brought up the closure of crypto-focused banks, Silvergate and Signature, as well as the continuous regulatory crackdown with the CFTC's lawsuit against Binance, and Coinbase revealing that the SEC sent the exchange a Wells notice, which is typically the last step before an enforcement action. So with all this going on, what is your outlook for crypto?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting, because if you look across all markets right now, you're definitely starting to see a recessionary playbook. What I mean by that is typically macro investors, when they think a recession is coming, you start to see exactly what we're seeing in the markets today, which is front-end rates start to drop sharply because it indicates that they think the Fed and other central banks will reverse course and start to lower rates again.
This is all interesting.
You start to see gold going higher, and of course, gold has been on a tear this first quarter of the year and is approaching all-time highs. You start to see commodities like oil go down, which is what we're seeing. And you see small caps and growth stocks start to underperform large caps and values. Basically, you have defensives, outperforming cyclicals. And then you have technology, which is sort of a mixed bag. Sometimes technology benefits from lower rates. Sometimes it suffers because of lower consumption with recession. So we can't really say historically what assets like Bitcoin and ETH and other digital assets will do in a recession, because quite frankly, we haven't had a recession since Bitcoin and ETH and other digital assets have been created.
That's true, too.
We've seen hints of recessions, right? We saw it briefly in 2015, but that went away after like a month, and the central banks acted again to put a lot of money into the system. We saw it again in 2018, but then they broke 2019, but then they broke the repo market and had to fix everything again with more money. You saw it again in 2020 with COVID, but they fixed that in a month. So we've never actually seen how digital assets would perform in a recessionary environment. And it could go both ways, right? They could start to behave like riskier stocks and just sell off along with other things. Or you might start to be a little more analytical about it and say, well, actually, most digital asset companies and projects, they have no physical rent to pay. They have very few employees to pay. They don't have cost of goods. They don't have any of the things that traditionally suffer when you have consumer spending going lower. And also, because you can't actually go bankrupt, right? These protocols have proven over and over again that they're not like stocks, right? Stocks like FTX go to zero. Stocks like BlockFi go to zero. Stocks like Signature and Silvergate go to zero because they go into a bankruptcy and there's a court process and there's a restructuring where your equity gets primed by debt and other creditors that are ahead of you. Well, in the protocol world, these are basically just long tail options that never really go away. And that's a pretty good place to hide out during a recession when there's no risk of actual cash flow declines and bankruptcy. So the jury is still out. I personally think that digital assets will actually hold up pretty well in a recessionary environment for all the reasons we just mentioned, right? The lack of faith in governments and banks combined with the fact that these are relatively safe assets when you have cash flows decline and consumer spending going down.
So we brought up the merge earlier, but Ethereum's next big upgrade, Shanghai, is right around the corner, and the update will finally allow users to withdraw Ether that has been staked since December 2020. What do you expect to happen? Do you think once this ETH becomes unlocked this month, there will be a massive sell-off perhaps?
So now this is, again, where it comes down to confusing the hell out of what to do with your ETH, right? Do you sell it or do you just hold it and wait? His outlook on this is actually, it's pretty spot on, I would think.
I think you might have a very brief sell-off, more based on narrative than actual flows. Only about 15 or 14% of ETH is currently staked. And there's a reason for that, right? It's because most people prefer liquidity over yield. There's a cohort of investors and people who are like, I don't need my money right away. I'd rather, lock it up and get a higher yield. But for the most part, people favor liquidity. And there's a rule of thumb with investing and really holding assets in general, which is you always want your assets to be productive when they can. So if you own a lot of Ethereum right now, whether you're a fund or you're a corporate treasury or whatever, and you have a chance to earn yield, but being able to do it where you can move your money in and out seamlessly without any friction, without any delays, without any lockups, that's a much more appealing option. So what I'm getting at is that while some of that 14% of ETH that is currently staked might become unstaked and sold, the other 86% of ETH holders who are currently not staking are much more likely to stake, even if it's just for a day or a half a day, because you can earn that yield on a short-term basis and still get your assets back. So I think it's going to be very short-lived if there is any selling pressure on ETH at all. And I think ultimately it's going to lead to a much higher staking rate, which not only benefits Ethereum, but obviously benefits liquid staking providers like Lido and Rocket Pool and some others, Frax.
What do you guys think about that? Shout out to CNBC for the video. But that's I think that guy is pretty spot on when it comes to what could potentially happen, right? I don't think I honestly don't think there is going to be a big selling pressure, but I guess we're gonna have to see. I mean, everything's holding fantastic right now, so I guess only time will tell. But let's continue this hype here with Bitcoin hits 30K from Coin Bureau. These guys are, this guy, his name's literally Guy. He's amazing. Let's listen to this, see what he has to say, and we'll go from there. And I love how he's got the Hallelujah song at the beginning.
Yes, praise be. Bitcoin has hit 30K and the crypto market is more excitable than the Easter Bunny after a chocolate egg binge. We haven't seen this level since June 2022, just before the collapse of Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, and the rest of them. Sentiment is high, and of course, many are predicting that the bull market could be about to return. But what's caused this sudden price spike? Is it sustainable? And what could be next? Now, Bitcoin has, of course, been on something of a tear over the last few weeks, driven largely by the banking crisis in the United States and elsewhere. Bullish sentiment has been going into overdrive, peaking when Balaji Srinivasan famously bet just last month that Bitcoin would hit $1 million by mid-June.
Ridiculous.
Well, still a bit of a way to go, but we're getting there, I suppose. Now, the banking crisis seems, for the time being at any rate, to be under control, and thoughts are now turning to what the next bit of bad news could be. Commercial real estate is worrying a lot of people, and there is, of course, plenty of speculation over what the Fed's next move on interest rates is likely to be. The consensus at the moment points to one more 25 basis point hike at the meeting next month, but many believe that Jerome Powell and co. could be about to pivot and start bringing interest rates down. Crypto, meanwhile, is in turmoil, with US regulators swinging punches like it's closing time in Southend on Saturday night, and Operation Choke Point 2 seeking to cut the industry off from the banking sector in the United States. In short, nobody knows what's going to happen, and in the midst of such uncertainty, a bet in either direction is always going to be highly speculative. But hey, speculation is what keeps the crypto market going, isn't it? And there are a good few reasons why willing buyers have pushed BTC above that magical 30K mark in the last few hours. The first relates to the difficulties the crypto industry is facing when it comes to banking services. Put simply, crypto market liquidity is pretty damn low at the moment. There isn't much money sloshing around because the collapse and closure of banks like Silvergate and Signature has made it much, much harder for big investors to get dollars into the market. Meanwhile, retail investors are also seeing fiat on and off ramps closed. This means lower trading volumes can move the market more easily, so only a few buyers are needed to push the price higher. So, low liquidity is one factor at play. Then there's also the fact that many believe the Fed is on the brink of, at the very least, pausing rate hikes at its meeting next month. Now, whether you're of that persuasion or not, we should all have a better idea tomorrow when the CPI data for March is published, along with the minutes of last month's Fed meeting. There's also the PPI data coming out on Thursday, as well as retail sales and consumer sentiment data on Friday. In other words, we're about to be hit with a whole load of numbers and get an insight into what the Fed officials are thinking. People are buying BTC because they reckon those numbers are going to be positive enough for a pause or even a pivot to be on the table. Again, enough buyers to move the price upwards. Now, I would argue that Jerome has been adamant that rates are going to stay high for a while, and thus those numbers will have to be absolutely spectacular for a pivot to even be considered. But, well, I suppose there's a decent enough chance of a pause. Remember, though, many thought the Fed would pause because of the banking crisis, and they still went ahead and hiked. And of course, when prices move dramatically in either direction, you can always rely on those leveraged traders who bet the wrong way to add fuel to the fire. In this case, BTC's sudden jump will have caused a short squeeze, whereby all those degens who bet that it would go lower will now be forced to buy or get liquidated. Extra buying pressure helps push the price up further, potentially liquidating yet more shorts, and so on. In sum then, Bitcoin has hit 30K simply because enough people are willing to buy it because they believe the economic outlook is beginning to brighten.
Excited that guy got.
Lower crypto market liquidity means their buys are enough to push the price higher and liquidate a few short positions into the bargain. The data coming out tomorrow and over the rest of the week is going to be vital, folks, so do keep a close eye out for it. Now, the big question is, of course, where will BTC's price go from here? Will 30K be a zone of support or resistance? Well, to answer that, I'm going to point you in the direction of our new channel, Coin Bureau Trading, where Dan explains the significance of the 30K level and which direction the markets could take from here.
They have another
check it out.
channel.
Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.
There we go. Let him finish his sentence. Perfect. Thank you to Coin Bureau for that. I didn't know they had another. Yeah, this is cool. I'm going to click on this, but I'm not going to play it.
So why?
Oh, boy. I'm just going to subscribe so I can check it out. But that's awesome. I didn't know they had another channel. Interesting. All right. So what do you guys think? How do you feel about this Bitcoin over 30K? You guys think it's going to hold or what? This is it's pretty nice to see everything green, right? But again, we do have a lot of news with Ethereum tomorrow. The Shanghai upgrade is supposed to happen. So with that being said, I don't know if it's just all the hype in the market right now with that happening or if it's going to hold. So I think that's kind of why he was like, pay attention for the next couple of days. All right, let's see what we have for, I want to check out Crypto Love's channel because he talks about things that happen on Twitter and he charts a bit. So let's see that. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat and we'll go from there. I want to see if he put out a video today or not. Let's see. No, 23 hours ago was the last one. So let's check out Crypto Zombie, see if he has anything today. Nope, 2 days ago. Man, these guys are slacking on me. Killing my morning show here. Doing all the work for me. He's not working out. All right, what do you guys got? What do you guys got in the chat? I mean, we could watch that Coin Bureau's video, but I don't, I've never heard of that guy. So I don't know how he does charting. Chump Change, after running a door trailer, do you think large-scale solar for mining is feasible, like 800 amps or more? When you say a door trailer, what does that mean? You mean like just the drop down in the back? Running 800 amps inside my trailer? Is that what you're getting at? I would say no on that, but RC, like solar, you can. All right, so like the amount of solar you can actually use daily is different than the amount of solar you're trying to store, right? So If you're trying to store solar to mine crypto, that's the hard part. But if you have a buttload of panels, right, and all the room in the world to put them down for, you know, energy during the day, you have like 5 hours of peak sunlight, right? You can run machines off of whatever for 5 hours, right? It comes down to running it through the night, so you'd have to like cycle it on and off, right? I missed the start. Good morning, said Mr. Duke Nukem. Good to see you, buddy. No worries, all good. We were just talking about Bitcoin, and we went over some CNBC news that they had on Ethereum and the merge. Let's see what else. I mean, not the merge, the Shanghai upgrade. Sorry. Big old door in the caboose, said Patrick Murphy. Perfect. All right, let me see. DJ Mines, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. What do you think about 30K Bitcoin? I know DJ's all excited about it. Said, got to love it. Got to love it. All right. Is anybody buying Bitcoin right now? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Interested to know. Or does anybody here trade? Because that would be even more interesting. All right. I guess we'll give that guy a shot. That Coin Bureau trading. Let's see. 28 videos, 10,000 subs. Dude, that's crazy. They just started. Dude's already at 10,000 subs. Let's see. 17 hours ago, $5,000 Bitcoin trading challenge update. Bitcoin hit 37K. Let's see, I guess. All right. We'll give it a shot. Give it a shot.
So why I'm bullish on Bitcoin, and also why I believe it could potentially break 30K in the next couple of days or the next couple of weeks. In today's video, we're just going to do a
Hold
quick...
on. When did he put this out? When did he put this out? 17 hours ago. So I guess he was on point with that.
A recap on our $5,000 challenge and the strategy, the current setups that we are waiting for, deeper explanation and to go over the key levels, and then last but not least, what is going to happen with the Q&A, because we've got a lot of very, very good questions that you guys have asked us in the comments below.
Coin Bureau trading.
What's happening, guys? It's Dan Chung here, aka Champ, a 600K verified funded trader aiming for 1 to 1.5 mil by the end of the year. So that's a pretty exciting journey, and I hope to update you in a few months time saying I am 1 million funded. Hey, so the recap of the $5,000 challenge. If you haven't seen it and you want to watch a deeper review of this, go check out our first video that we published 7 days ago. I'll be using Bybit for this platform. I'll be loading this with $5,000 actually this week. We've actually confirmed that, done the KYC, just waiting on
So Bybit is not something that's legal here in the US, by the way. And if that VPN Restrict Act BS passes, then it'll be even more
deposit to hit. And then in the next video, I'm going to be talking about which one I'll be using, either the spot trading, margin, or leverage. This is this trading strategy that we'll be using on this challenge. So we'll be waiting for price to approach each key level. That's the main first requirement that I need for my trading setup. So then I go on to the 3 confluences. Are these zones tested in the past, and is that key zone actually valid? Then is the moving average in favor? Alongside with that, is there more than 1 to 3% on the table for me to eat?
All right, hold on one second. So I'm interested to learn whatever he's trying to teach us right here, which is kind of neat. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link to this down in the description below after the fact. I haven't done it yet, but if you guys have any questions during it, please just feel free to ask. Not that I can really explain whatever the hell he's doing right here, but I'll try like hell. Feel free to ask.
Eat. Then I set the trade, wait, and if it hits stop loss or take profit, it doesn't matter. I rinse and repeat. Open the charts, review the market, check the zones, and then review the sentiment. So in terms of the risk management section, I'll be using 0.5% just until I'm comfortable. I get used to the platform, and then once that's happened, I'll move it up to 1%. And once 10% has been made on the account, I will then use it into 2% and then into 3%, and I will use 3% moving forward. So go and watch that video if you want to know that a bit more in depth, but that is the recap. So let's go straight into the price prediction and the setup of the prices that I'm waiting for at the moment. So we can see we've got 2 trades. These trades are the stop loss and then the take profit and then the trade up and above. So our main key level to discuss first and foremost is this 30K mark right now. So if we look in the past, we can see in January 21, when it broke all-time highs, this was a major support that was tested for 4 months in a row. It then ended up testing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months in a row, but 3 times on this key level. broke through, became a support, and then became a resistance, and then right now it's becoming a resistance again. So that is why it is a major key level. Now, I didn't touch on this in the previous video because it's not an area where I'm actually mainly looking for, because I believe price is either going to reject this or break up and above. What I am more focused on, in which I mentioned is 37k and 14k, is because that is the next potential movement that's going to happen. 30k is going to be my reference point. It doesn't matter to me right now, I'm already aware of it, but it is something that is important to touch on. So then let's go on to the lower time frame. So this is the 4-hour time frame at the moment. We can see we had our push onto the upside, which was just breaking up this resistance, became a support, and then further pushed. We've now been sitting within this range of between 26k all the way to 28k. So this,
well, as you guys know, we broke 30k. So this was a video yesterday he put out. So yeah,
yellow box that I've drawn, meaning price is just bouncing in between it. It's undecided, it's starting to coil up, and there is going to be a momentum coming through. Now, why am I more keen on to the upside? Well, I'm more keen on to the upside right now is because as we look at the current price action, we can see that every single time it has touched this, it has rejected. It's starting to make higher lows and higher highs. We've had a higher wick than we did have a higher low. We've retested this from a lower perspective. It's tested to 28.6k, and I generally think that if we can come up into this little circle region that I'm just scribbling in at the moment in the next couple of days, then we could potentially break 30k. If we do break 30k, it probably won't give us a chance to buy, because most of you guys, or maybe other traders who are at my level or above me, whatever level it is, are probably waiting for the same thing. So if that does happen, that will either send price to the next key level or absolutely just shoot down from a resistance point of view for liquidation purposes to take people out. It just really depends what the market sentiment is. Is there going to be a cause from it? And also, who is stronger, the bulls?
Yes, we did hit over 30k, Mr. Rudputs.
Or the bears. And then now we're going to go through a deeper explanation. What I want to talk to you about is how I come to my consensus or my thesis of why I think it's going higher. I may have explained the key levels, but maybe some of you guys might not understand that at the moment. So I want to break this down just to a basic / deeper meaning as well.
So the whole reason I'm watching this is I want to see how good his analysis is on this trading stuff. And if we can learn something from it, I mean, this is awesome. I didn't know Coin Bureau started a trading channel. So I guess that's why we're watching it. But yes, it did hit over 30k. He posted this yesterday morning. So it's, you know, obviously before it hit 30k. So whatever. Either way, he was kind of advocating for it going above 30k, which is, I'm trying to figure out why and trying to make sense of it, right? So let's see.
What you want to do is actually go from a higher time frame first and just look at what is happening to the current price. If we were to draw these lows down here, we can see prices rejected this twice, came through, retested, broke back up, and then now is trading above that price. We can see here on the left hand side, this was a support zone because it wicked through, it tested as a resistance, and then now is a multiple support test, retest. And then last but not least, one in between. So that is just 3 key levels drawn from the weekly time frame. As we dive into the daily time frame, we can see these levels being hit so much more cleaner. So that support I mentioned, and then a retest. We've now touched this multiple times in between. Look at that resistance, look at that support. Yet again, another support and a support and a support. And the only way to do this is practice makes perfect. You can draw as many zones as you want. You want to clean them up and use the zones that have been tested the most amount of times, because that is obviously indicating that that zone is where price is reacting the most. Simple as that. Now that we've done that, we can just look into the deeper meaning. It's pretty simple and self-explanatory, because the current price has broken this zone. This zone is like a ceiling. A good way to understand it is now we've jumped to the next floor, we've broken the ceiling. Now the ceiling has become our new floor. So we've been bouncing on this floor like a trampoline. It's just jumping and jumping and jumping. It's failing to break the trampoline and drop the below level, and it looks more likely to go to the next key level above. So if we were to draw a key level, the next key level would be 31k on the lower time frame. So that is why and how you come to a thesis and a deeper understanding of key levels, just by looking at price action and just the information that's at hand is really as simple as that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Now, in terms of the Q&A, you guys have got tons of questions and a lot of them are very valid, but I can't answer them in each video. So what I'm going to do is make another video, which is coming tomorrow, to answer all your questions that you have for key zones, my trading history, funded, profits, loss, stop loss, a ton of questions that you guys have, and put that all in one collated video. We'll use that as a reference point, so you can ask questions in that video video, and then every week I will answer that, because it would be very hard for me just to go through all the videos in the past and answer every single question. But for now, I'll go through all those videos in the past, put all those questions into one video, and we will use that video moving forward. And then we'll just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it from there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you check out the Q&A video tomorrow to help you learn and earn. And then yesterday's video talking about the cause and effect of Bitcoin. More importantly, make sure you smash that notification bell button, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Interesting. Someone just said they don't think that guy knows what he's doing. Hey, he seemed pretty legit to me. I don't know. I'm not against it or for it, but I guess I would be a little for it, right? I'm gonna like it and I'll share it to you guys. If you guys are interested, go check out this new Coin Bureau trading, which is kind of interesting. And you know what? If you can learn something from it, why the hell not? Take what you can take, right? All right, let's see. What other news do we got? Bitcoin price. Let's see this one. All right. Bitcoin price faces bearish divergence amid 22K correction target. Bitcoin may have blasted through 30,000 mark, but some market participants are warning of a critical lack of strength. Interesting. Look at that bear breaking through the charts there, the candles. Bitcoin held 30,000 as support before the April 11th Wall Street opening, with fresh doubts emerging over the rally strength. So hold on, what time is it? Yeah, so the market opens, what is it, 9 or 9:30? So it's like literally soon. I wonder, do you guys think it'll dump under 30,000 when the market opens? I don't know. I don't think it will, to be honest. It shouldn't. Let's hope not. I'd be really pissed if it does. That'd be terrible. All right, BTC price finally tackles 30,000 resistance cloud. It says data from Cointelegraph Market Pros and TradingView followed BTC in USD or /USD as it hit 10-month highs of 30,438 on Bitstamp. Almost 1 month in the making. The final surge to 30,000 delighted many traders who considered the move to be the matter of time. Let's see. I'm watching now. People are pointing it out. Having uploaded a roadmap showing BTC/USD continuing to gain, Crypto Kaleo argued that Bitcoin was still the best investment allocation for capital rather than cash or altcoins at current prices. Bitcoin is breaking out, of course. All of the USD charts are going to look decently bearish. Part of the day's Twitter commentary stated. Interesting. In quotations, it says, look at the alt charts versus BTC. I don't see any that I like at the moment. Thus, while you might still be up in USD with some alt positions, your capital is still best allocated stacking more Bitcoin. End quote. Interesting. All right, so it says Dan Crypto Traders meanwhile gave more attention to altcoins, entertaining the idea that BTC and /USD may now consolidate. In quotations, it will be interesting to see what happens around here. I suspect we might see it cooling off for a little, which means alt/BTC pairs should gain some ground, end quote. He wrote in part of his reaction tweet. He added that Bitcoin market dominance might continue to increase if spot price gains remain brisk. Interesting. And this is the chart he posted. I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but nice. Triple bearish divergence. Despite regaining what had long been a mass resistance zone, Bitcoin did not inspire everyone with its assault. It says with nearly 100 million in shorts liquidated on April 10th, 100 million, geez, through April 11th. Analytics resource Skew noted that there was air on the Binance order book below the 30,000 mark during the breakout. The hell's that mean? There was air? Let me see. I'm gonna click on this. What is he talking about? Build a large spot sell wall. I don't know if you guys can see that. All right. Well, clearly Twitter doesn't want me to zoom in on this picture. I'll just go F myself. But anyways, let's see if you guys have any questions in the chat real quick before I continue to read this. Government liquidated so they would make dollar look nicer. Yeah, right. Imagine. Well, they have all that money from Silk Road we've read about, right? That was kind of crazy to hear that they're actually a Bitcoin whale and they're just confiscated all that Bitcoin. It's crazy. All right, where the hell was I? I just lose my spot. Oh, there we go. Meanwhile, venture founder, a contributor to on-chain analytics firm CryptoQuant, warned of a bearish divergence between the spot price and relative strength index on the daily chart, looking for short-term correction down to at least 25K sometime soon, potentially down to 22K, part of a prediction revealed. Interesting. What do you guys think? Little time mining. I know you do some trading and you're here in the chat. Let's see. Chump check Tesla pre-market. Dude, I don't know how to do that. How do I do that? Trading view? I got my trading view right here. This is the Bitcoin chart right here. Do you use MarketSight for little time mining? I think you do, right? If I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, 2 hour. You want me to look at Tesla? Hold on. What did you say to look up? Tesla what? Just look up Tesla. That's it. Just this. That's it. I don't know how to do the pre-market stuff though. I'm not a stock guy, so I have no idea. I don't know what that means realistically. I wish I did. Let's see. All right. So, what is this? What does this mean? What am I looking at, Mr. Little Time Mining? I mean, it looks like things are coming up, but I don't know. I don't know if this is good. I've never looked at this chart, so I have no idea. You guys can let me know. What is up, Enzo? Good to see you, buddy. Just see what pre-market price is going before 9:30. So 186.25. Is that what it's at? Is that what you're saying right here? Oh, it says pre. It says pre next to it. Okay. How do I zoom in on this so you guys can like? Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. It kills the chart, but you can see right here it says pre 186. So that, assuming that means pre-market. I'm not a stock guy. I don't ever look at stock charts, so that's kind of interesting. All right, let's see. This where we were. Okay. Trader Ched similarly. Let's see. Eyed what he called a triple bearish divergence with on-balance volume, considering a short position but being not in one overnight. Congratulations to the bulls that were respectful and were calling for 30K. Capo of Crypto, the Twitter trader infamous for his bearish BTC price prognosis, added in a tweet on the day. Some were critical of the bearish divergence thesis, with popular trader Crypto Ed dismissing the idea on slightly longer 3-day time frames. Interesting. Well, whatever. Does any of it really matter? We're over 30K. That's all that matters. All right, guys, what do you got for me? I got to get out of here, but I'll be back later on today at 2 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, let's do a little AMA real quick. All right, Game of Smoky Dan says, watching a podcast about BTC and the Silk Road, started watching this morning before the stream. If interesting, I will post in Discord. Oh, okay, yeah, send it over. I'll check it out. Why not? I have nothing better to do but listen to shit all day. Crypto Bedell, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Buy BTC 2x easily. Yeah, you think so? Listen. If I think if we, what was it? Is it 32,000? Is that what we need to break? Is that what everybody says? I don't even know. What is the resistance, Mr. Little Time Mining? Look at that candle though. That's insane. Oh, this flag, right? This would be a flagpole, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, geez, if this is a giant flag, then we're in for a run-in. But this is on the 2 hour. Well, I guess that's still pretty good. That's crazy. I wonder if it'll hold, man. I wonder if it'll hold. I mean, looking at Market Cipher right here, this let me see. I mean, that looks good, right? The VWAP's coming up. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. So this little yellow here is the VWAP with the green money flow, which is good, which means money's in the market. So if that turns up and breaks over the line, we might see a little bit more of a push up. I want to see what let me check. Let's go to the daily, I guess. Go to the daily. So what is I like, it's so hard to use this freaking trading view, man. Sometimes. How do I put this shit down? How do I put this one down? I feel like I'm gonna break it. No, I don't want to delete it. All right, anyways. So I guess if we break this right here, 32.3, right? Or if we don't count the wick, just in general, 31.8 ish, right? So if we get over 32,000, I think it's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, it looks, that's what I would say, right? 32k is probably the most resistance we're gonna fight, if I had to guess. You have a lot of indicators, that's why. So like, all right, ready? If I shut this off, I could shut off these two. That don't matter. I could do that, right? I like, the only one I really use is Market Cipher B, which is this one down here. This is the one that's awesome. Yeah, the other one confuses the shit out of things, but the whale buy sell indicator, this one's actually pretty good. It is, but they added this, like, I don't know what that called, Ikimochu friggin' cloud bullshit. I don't even know. I think that's what that's called, or it's the Bollinger Bands. I have no idea. It's just, you can barely see it. You can literally barely see it. But they added that shit to it, so I don't like it now. I'm gonna have to go into the settings to try to figure it out. But regardless, I think, yeah, right around here, right around 32k. If we break that, if we could flip that to support, that'd be amazing, right? I would think so. Yeah, because it was support right here. 32. Yeah, right here too. Yeah, literally right around 32. These two, they were supported. So if it acts as resistance right now, it might fall back down, but not a trader, not financial advice. Just want to see what I see. 1 million in June, they said. Yes, Dom G, they did say that, but I am not at all sure that's actually going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. It'd be amazing if it did. 50k to make a cup. 50k to make a cup. Like a giant cup and handle, is that what you're talking about? I don't know. Have to be really optimistic to see that. Either way, guys, I'm happy about the over 30,000 BTC. It is great. Let's see, $2 million next year. This is how it is. Oh man, that's great. Appreciate you. All right, Shay Mining said if you double check on the chart, it will make it bigger. Oh, double click. Sorry, double click. Where is it? Oh, I love you. That's how you do it. Thank you. That's amazing. I didn't know that. God damn it. Learn something new every day. Look at that, people. See, this is why I love you guys. Y'all teach me things in the chat. It's great. Double click. Dude, that's so much easier. And then I can... Oh, that's cool. See, like, this is cool because it shows, like, the money flow, right? Money flow, the momentum waves, RSIs, all these right here, these squiggly lines, like the purple, green, and red, right? Which is pretty awesome. That's cool that I could separate it like that. I didn't know I could just double click it. Awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. Shay Mining. You're awesome. RSI is high. Bull run 2023. We'll see, man. We'll see. You think it'll be a bull run this year? Little time mining? I know. So little time mining does some trading, and I definitely advocate for you making a channel. Like, not a channel, but like a trading segment on your channel, right? Because little time mining does also do YouTube videos. You should do it. You really should. Why not? Just go on and talk, man. People will listen to it. I'll watch it for sure. If you could teach me something, that'd be amazing. I'd be pumped. Either way, guys. All right, I'm out of here. I'll be back around 2 o'clock today. I'm going to try to find something interesting for you guys. So stay tuned, and hopefully you guys have a great day at work. Enjoy the market while we can. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one, and peace out.